Hello there, this is Kathie with Craft with Kathie. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to do a little project using Chalk Couture ink instead of paste. If you notice, our ink jars have a white cover, paste jars have a black cover. We want to use ink anytime we're going to be working on a surface that needs to be heat set, such as fabric or ceramics for glasses, things of that nature that we could heat set in an oven. Today I'm going to be doing a t-shirt. My t-shirt is inside out and I'm smoothing it to eliminate any wrinkles before I apply the adhesive protective ink mat. The ink mat is used to be sure that your ink does not go through the first layer of fabric and hit the back layer. It acts as a barrier. And because it's adhesive, I find it easier to apply with the shirt inside out and then turn it right side out. You want a nice flat surface to put the ink mat on. And because I've previously cut this ink mat, I'm going to need to layer them. As soon as I saw this transfer, I knew exactly how I wanted to use it. It reminded me of a t-shirt I wore in high school that said "Love and Peace." And that was basically my uniform, jeans and that t-shirt. I just loved it. And when my cousin mentioned how my mom was such a great hugger, I knew that I had to make this for her. Our ink mats come in 2 different sizes. I'm using the long, thinner ink mat, and I had actually previously cut this in half to use it, to customize it for a different project. So I'm going to need to overlap the 2 pieces of this ink mat to get full coverage on this shirt. Our ink mats are adhesive on one side, so I don't see it as being any issue. It should work fine. And so we'll get full coverage, words from, okay, I guess I lied. They're not, of course they're the same width, they're not going to be the same length. Okay. Let me just put this in the middle because I'm not inking the full length of the mat anyway. Okay. I pressed this down. Now I just need to turn the shirt right side out. Do a little minor adjusting here with the sleeves. Make sure the mats are firmly in place. So anyway, as my mom's such a great hugger, what better to put on a t-shirt for her other than hug me, hug me, hug me. And I'm going to center this transfer. Press it down lightly with my fingers, making sure there's no air bubbles. I don't want it pressed against my glass mat. I don't want it sticking to glass. Okay, so we have fawn ink. Which I hadn't previously opened. Let me open that up and give that a little stir. Make sure it's the appropriate consistency. With my multi-tool. Oh, that looks beautiful. Okay. And let me grab my gold shimmer. So what I'm thinking is, in the center, I will do these 4 hug me's in gold, and I will do the rest in the fawn. This is our beautiful gold shimmer ink. Now, the only thing you have to be careful about when you're inking is to make sure that you keep your fingers clean. You don't want to ever inadvertently apply ink to your surface. If you have a smudge or something on your finger, you could very well get it on the fabric or the surface that you're working on. And as our ink is permanent, it's not like the chalk where you could just wipe it and erase it. But accidents do happen, and I found that sometimes adding a little flower to a design could very well cover up a smudge that you've made. Fighting with a new roll of paper towels here to get the ink off my fingers. Okay, I think that's fine. So, I'm going to use a little bit smaller of a squeegee just because I need to get in there nice and neatly and do these 4. And just like with our paste, you want to remove any excess and return it to the jar. I found with ink, I just need to apply a little bit more pressure when working on fabric to make sure that it goes through the silk screen fully, especially on the edges of letters or a design. Just want to make sure I get it all. And I'm going to grab a little bit bigger of a squeegee for the rest and use the fawn. Our ink works great on t-shirt material. Anything with a nice woven flat surface is ideal for our ink. See a little bit of peach peeking through there, or the coral from the shirt. Make sure I get it all. And just like paste, you want to make sure that you make it nice and smooth. You want to eliminate any lines that you may have and remove any excess ink and return it to the jar also. No sense just leaving it on the transfer and wasting it. Now I'm taking care not to go off the edge of this transfer. I don't want to put a blob on the t-shirt. I could have put painter's tape below and above the transfer. That would guarantee that if I got a little crazy here with my squeegee and made an oops, that would handle it. But I think I could handle this. So far, so good. Okay, this looks pretty good to me. I'm cleaning it up, removing the excess. getting rid of my lines. Add the excess back into the jar. Make sure I have clean hands. And I'm going to want to lift either top or bottom or left to right. I think I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to hit the gold again. It just looks a little light to me over here. I almost see like the coral showing through. So while I can, I'm going to go back over this and make sure it went through that silk screen real well. With ink, you don't have to work quite as quickly as you do with the chalk. The ink is much more forgiving. It takes a longer time to dry. So I could actually just take my time with this and make sure I have everything fully covered. And then remove my excess and put it back in the jar. Now let's take a look at what this looks like. I'm pulling up left to right. I'm sorry, right to left. And I want to try and use a 90-degree angle. Oops, my shirt just popped up here. A little bit, I need another arm here. Okay, I'm going to throw this in a water bath. And checking again. Oops, it looks like I have a little gold ink on my fingers. Let me wash that off. I don't want to touch the shirt with any ink on my fingers. Don't want to transfer any ink to the shirt itself. Okay. That looks pretty good. Now, what I need to do is wait for the ink to dry fully before I remove the ink mat. And then what I will do is I will heat set this shirt. I'm going to use an easy press, and that's very quick. If you don't have an easy press or something of that nature, then you can use an iron. And all you do is you heat set it, you apply freezer paper, or I'm sorry, parchment paper over the ink, and then you iron it with your iron for 5 minutes on each side at the temperature for your particular fabric. So check your labels before you set your iron. I hope this has been useful and valuable for you and given you some creative ideas. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful life.